Doreen Grand-Pichet is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen.
I want to start because Adventures with Shaden, I hope I said your child's name right, says our little girl was diagnosed in 2011. She was nonverbal severe. We put her on medication in GF, SF, CF. And within 3 days, she had eye contact and started improving. It's been a long road. She's verbal and thriving today. I love hearing that because it goes right to the heart of what we're talking about. Of course, though, I do want to say and have you speak about, Dr. Grand-Pichet, that sometimes when you get the right diet, when you get the right biomedical intervention with a child, you can see pretty miraculous things that happen. But I find that sometimes families get so entrenched in that they let everything else go. They go, okay, we're going to get there just with diet. And I think it was you that said to me at one point, well, if diet and biochemically what's happening with the child is preventing them from learning, when we fix that, they can now learn, but we still need to teach them.
Absolutely. I mean, I always say that it is lots of different parts to this, right? So the first part is getting all of the biochemical stuff under control, because while, as you explained to that young man, while you've ingested things that you are either allergic to or not able to digest or are causing mischief one way or another, you're not able to learn. You're not open to learning, right? You're a little foggy maybe, or you're hyperactive or distracted or all these other things. So getting the diet, the biomedical, other, just working on the various biomedical factors is step one, I think. And then also not to forget things that hopefully will adjust and improve once you fix the biomedical. The next thing I'm always looking at is sleep. For me, sleep is incredibly important, right? So like, I want to make sure all of my kids are sleeping well. If I have the medical issues stabilized and my child is sleeping well, then the next thing I'm looking at is sensory input. And it's kind of like, how is this child functioning in the world? How are they taking in information? It's funny, yesterday I was having a conversation with someone on a flight, and they were saying that they have continual tinnitus, right? Which is ringing in the ears.
Yeah.
And this gentleman was very interested in autism. He had a nephew with autism, and we got to talking, and it just appeared to we both kind of came to the conclusion that we have to pay so much attention to the sensory input of our kids, because imagine if you have ringing in your ears, for instance, the whole time, how are you going to focus on anything else, right? And I know from one of my former children, who's an adult now, that there is a difference in how they receive information. So like, he told me he had a very hard time focusing on language, on speech. That sound was a background noise because there was another sound that was always present, right? And tinnitus is not a external stimulus, right? It's your brain doing that. Yeah. And so it would be very likely for our kids that there are other extrinsic factors that are interfering with their sensory input. So it could be something auditory, which obviously then has to do with the learning of language. Could be something visual, which also has to do with all aspects of nonverbal communication and social behavior, right? That's like, we talk about why our children don't have eye contact, or why they have a hard time learning something when it's not presented in a visual format, like words or something. So the thing that becomes important after you have the biomedical and sleep under control, I think, is figuring out, how does this individual learn? Like, what is their best method of learning? We all have different methods, right, Shannon? I mean, for me, I am a visual learner. I like to have things written down. It will always help me if I have a written something as opposed to auditory. So that's important. And then ABA comes in and is a fantastic technique for teaching because it breaks everything down into smaller steps that are cohesive and that are in the right order. And it's a fantastic teaching technique. And so then it becomes really important to do that. And while you're doing ABA, I don't want to forget that one of the most important things on an ongoing basis is just the mood and kind of mental capacity of the child. You want to make sure the child is happy and not anxious, because so many of our kids or adults start to experience anxiety, and that then kind of conflicts with everything else as well.
Thank you for saying that, because I think it's super important. And I love that the mom wrote back in, and I had a feeling that she was this kind of a mom, but she said, we did ABA, speech, OT, social groups, and special education, homeschooling now. We have to remember that every person is unique and has their own unique needs and challenges. What works for one and may not work for others. Thank you, ladies, for educating. But I think that it's that kind of approach, that because if you go through, it's all the things that you were talking about that this parent took, and they're having good results. She says it's been a long journey, but
Yes.
they're having good results. Amanda also said that they're now working on acquiring skills that were missing during that period of time when your child was struggling with whatever they're struggling. They are going to miss learning some skills, and you can catch up on those things. Amanda also reports that sleep is so much better now, and that has made it so much easier getting school done and getting to school every morning now, which is absolutely, amen. We're so happy to hear that.
If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.
Don't forget, you can watch Ask Dr. Doreen live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time on autismnetwork.com. We hope to see you there.